Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are going to unlock the power of one of the most underrated tools in the English language, the adverb. Seriously, forget all those dusty old grammar rules you learned. I want you to think of adverbs as secret ingredients, the little things that can make your writing really pop. They add color, they add precision, and they bring life to sentences that were totally flat before. Ready to see what I mean? Let's dive in.
Okay, let's start with a problem. Here's a sentence. The cat sat. Grammatically, it's perfect, but it's kind of boring, right? It gives us the bare minimum of information. There's no picture in our minds, no story. It just exists. Now, watch what happens when we start adding a few simple tools to our toolkit.
And just like that, with two little words, a scene starts to take shape. The cat sat quietly there. The word quietly tells us how the cat sat. It gives it a mood, a personality. And there tells us where. Suddenly, it has a location. Instantly, we've got more than just a fact. We've got a feeling.
But why stop there? Let's take it one step further. We can add today to tell us when this is all happening, and we can throw in very to tell us how much. All of a sudden, we have, today, the cat sat very quietly there. See that? We've gone from a flat, boring statement to a complete snapshot in time, packed with mood and detail. That, right there, is the power of adverbs.
So what are these powerhouse words we've been using? Well, they're called adverbs. And for the next couple of minutes, we're going to explore their hidden superpower and figure out what makes them so special. So, the simple definition is that an adverb is a modifier. Its main job is to add detail to other words. But here's what's so incredible about them. They're super versatile. They don't just work on verbs. They can supercharge adjectives, they can intensify other adverbs, and sometimes a single adverb can shift the entire mood of a sentence. Think of an adverb as having like 4 main moves. First, it can describe a verb. She sings sweetly. Simple enough. It can also boost an adjective. The movie is very good. It can even double down and modify another adverb. He ran quite fast. And my personal favorite, it can set the tone for a whole sentence. Luckily, we reached on time. See how that one word, luckily, changes the entire feel of what follows? It's amazing.
Okay, so how do we know which adverb to use and when? Well, the easiest way is to think of them as answering a few key questions. So let's open up that adverb toolbox and see what those questions are. It pretty much boils down to this. Almost every adverb you'll ever use is designed to answer one of 5 core questions. How, when, where, how often, or how much. If you can get a handle on these 5 questions, trust me, you've mastered the basics of using adverbs like a pro. All right, first up, probably the most common question, how? How did the action happen? These are called adverbs of manner, and they're all about describing the way something is done. Here are some classic examples. Did someone speak loudly or softly? Did they do their work nicely or badly? These words give us the quality of the action. And you'll probably notice a common pattern here. A lot of them end in ly. That's a great little clue to look out for. Okay, next question. When? This is where adverbs of time come in, and these are absolutely essential for telling a story because they pin the action to a specific moment. These words can be super specific, like yesterday or now, or they can be a bit more general, like soon or recently. Either way, they give us vital context. Think about it. She came is just a floating fact. But she came yesterday, well, that anchors it to a timeline. It makes it real. Our third big question is where. Adverbs of place are what build the physical setting of our sentence. They basically tell the reader where to look. So these words handle location, like here or there, direction, like up or away, and position, like inside or outside. They're simple, direct tools, but they're so powerful for turning an abstract idea into something your reader can actually picture in their head. Okay, so we've got the tools, we understand what they do, but where do they actually go in a sentence? Let's open up the user manual for our adverb toolbox and look at the rules for placement. The cool thing about adverbs is they're pretty flexible. They can go in 3 main spots. You can put them right at the beginning of a sentence for emphasis. Yesterday, we visited the park. You can also place them in the middle, usually right before the main verb. She usually wakes up early. Or you can stick them at the end, which is a really common spot for adverbs that tell us how, where, or when. Now, here is a specific little rule that trips a lot of people up, especially with adverbs of frequency like always, never, or often. The rule is this.
They come before most verbs, but they come after the verb to be. So we don't say she always is happy. It sounds a little clunky, right? Instead, we say she is always happy. It's a small tweak, but it makes a huge difference to the flow of the sentence.
So, beyond just modifying words, some adverbs have really special jobs. Let's take a quick look at the adverbs that act as our connectors and our questioners. First, you've got interrogative adverbs. Those are the easy ones, like when, where, and why, that start our questions. Then you have conjunctive adverbs. These are super powerful connectors, like therefore or however. They build a logical bridge between two complete ideas. And finally, you have simple adverbs of affirmation or negation, words like yes, no, surely, or never, that show you clearly agree or disagree with something.
Okay, for our final section, let's put it all together. We're going to see what happens when we combine all of these different tools into a single sentence to get the biggest impact. This is where mastery really happens. Check out this sentence. It beautifully weaves together 4 different types of adverbs. We know how often she wakes up, always. We know when she wakes up, early. We know how she walks, carefully. And we know where she walks, outside. Look at that. In one elegant line, we get a rich, detailed, and super efficient picture of what's happening, all thanks to using adverbs strategically. So to wrap things up, here's a final takeaway for your writer's toolbox. Think of this as your personal adverb cheat sheet. It's got the main types we talked about, the core question each one answers, and a couple of quick examples. Keep this handy, and you'll always have the right tool for the job. You know, we started with the cat sat. And now, you have a full toolkit for creating powerful, vivid language. Adverbs give you control over the tiny details that make a story come alive. So the final question isn't for me, it's for you. How are you going to use these tools to make your own writing more precise, more descriptive, and just more vivid?